Pescoço.
Then after you have great coaches, you get great players, you have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also make sure to hit that bell notification, that way you get notified every time I post a video just like this one. Without further ado, let's jump right into the topic of this video. The preseason for the Las Vegas Raiders officially starts tomorrow, and this is a very exciting opportunity for us to see some of our young players compete and battle for roster spots and to move up in the depth chart. The Raiders just completed 2 days of joint practices against the San Francisco 49ers and have a lot of momentum at the moment, but the preseason will be mainly for our young players, and today I will list off 5 different players to keep your eye out on for tomorrow in the preseason. But without further ado, let's jump right into the list. So the first guy I'm very excited to see is our 7th rounder defensive tackle Nesta Jade Silvera. Now, Silvera has been gaining a lot of momentum in his play throughout training camp, and more specifically in these joint practices against the 49ers. Silvera has a lot of talent, and he's a big body, space-eating type of defensive tackle who really excels against the run, and the Raiders most definitely need this in their interior of their defense. We ended up drafting Neo Farrell Jr. last year in the draft to essentially fill this role, but Silvera has came out and showed that there's going to be a real competition between these two guys. And the Raiders, just in general, we have a lot of young talent at the defensive tackle position. With Silvera playing good this preseason, it's going to be crucial for him to fight his way up the depth chart, which could potentially lead to him making an impact on this roster next season. So I'm definitely excited to see him. Now, the second guy on my list is running back Zamir White. Zamir White had himself a big day against the Niners in joint practices, and the Raiders really need to prepare for the possibility of Josh Jacobs not being present for week 1 of the regular season, and worst case scenario, missing the entire year if he chooses to do so. Now look, I don't think that will happen, but just in case it does, you need a backup plan. You need a running back like Zamir White, who is very young and hungry, prepared and up to speed in this offense. I just really think this will be a huge year for Zamir White, and really right now is his chance to put some pressure on this coaching staff in the running back department and just show that he is ready to take a bigger role in this offense, whether Josh Jacobs is here or not. So definitely a guy that I'm really excited to see in the preseason tomorrow and just throughout the preseason. Now, the third guy on my list is defensive tackle Byron Young. Byron Young, we selected him in the 3rd round out of Alabama. And now, look, I'm not 100% sure if he will actually play tomorrow, but I would expect him to be out there. And I'm just really excited to see him in general get some meaningful snaps. I really hope he plays all 3 of these preseason games just as long as he's healthy, because Byron Young just recently was activated off the physically unable to perform list, so he really needs all the valuable reps in training camp and in the preseason to just make sure he's ready for the regular season. This will just help his developmental process being a rookie going into the National Football League. And Byron Young is another young player at the defensive tackle position, like I mentioned earlier. At this point, we got Nesta Jade Silvera, we got Neil Farrell, we also got Matthew Butler, who was a guy that I totally forgot about, but we also drafted him last year. And unlike Nesta Jade Silvera, Byron Young has a different set of skills at his position. Silvera is more of a run-stuffing defensive tackle, while Byron Young has shown that he has the ability to get to the quarterback, and he has some pass rusher moves, at least back at Alabama. We'll just have to see if he can continue to do so in the National Football League at the next level, but he could be the pass rushing presence that we've needed from the interior of this defensive line for years now. So I'm definitely excited to see Byron Young, and I hope we see a lot of him in the preseason. Now, the 4th guy on this list is quarterback Aidan O'Connell. The Raiders went ahead and traded up for Aidan O'Connell out of Purdue in the 4th round last year in the NFL draft. Aidan O'Connell is a quarterback who is very accurate throwing the ball. He has good leadership traits. He's supposed to be a real smart, high IQ football player with good intangible traits that you're looking for your quarterback. Now, there is no doubt in my mind that Jimmy Garoppolo will be the starter week 1, but with the injury history of Jimmy Garoppolo, the Raiders also need to be prepared for the possibility of their starting quarterback missing some games, and they will need to have a reliable backup quarterback. For me, ideally, I'd rather see Aiden O'Connell out there than Brian Hoyer, but Aiden O'Connell needs to get out there and show us something in the preseason, make us feel a little bit better about the possibility of him potentially stepping in for a game or two during the regular season next year, and ultimately show that maybe he could be the long-term future of this team at the quarterback position after Jimmy G is no longer with the team. And last but not least, the 5th guy on my list is linebacker Amari Burney. Amari Burney was drafted in the late 6th round last year in the draft out of Florida, and Burney is a very athletic linebacker who can be very versatile in the fact that we saw him line up as a defensive end at times in college. He can also play as a 3-4 outside linebacker. He dropped back into coverage as well, and he's a former safety as well. So look, with all the versatility to his game, it'll just be interesting to see how our defensive coordinator Patrick Graham ends up utilizing him mainly in this defense. And really what I want to see from him too is how well he can cover. Like, can he just be decent in pass coverage? That'll be a big thing for the Raiders in this defense. Really, all I'm looking for from Amari Burney for me to qualify as a successful draft pick is if Amari Burney can just do a good job covering running backs and tight ends, then the Raiders really could have something in Amari Burney, and he could just really help out this defense and the linebacker core as a whole. You could argue a guy like Amari Burney could be another X factor on this defense. If he can be solid in pass coverage, then this can help out this defense so much. But Raider Nation, these are the top 5 guys I am most excited to see out on the field tomorrow. I'm sure there's some more players that I may have missed, but I can only pick 5 for this video. So, some other honorable mentions of guys that are, be very excited to see tomorrow would be wide receiver Trey Tucker. It'll be interesting to see, if they get him involved in a lot of pre-snap motions and some runs, and just see how different the offense could be with a speedster just like him. We also got some interesting UDFA O-linemen like McClendon Curtis. We also have Dalton Wagner out there, etc., etc. There's a lot of guys that it'll be interesting to see out there. But Raider Nation, let me know what players you guys are most excited to see tomorrow in the comment section down below. That being said, that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Anybody that is new, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.